What is that I'm hearing? You want to know how to start Hockey Ultimate Team in NHL 24? So when the game comes out, you can get the best possible team from the start? I think I'm pretty qualified to make this video. Hey guys, so NHL 24 is just around the corner. It is going to be released at the start of next month, which is like, what is it? Like 2 or 3 weeks away, something like that. I've played HOT since NHL 17, and oh man, just let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something.
I think I've come a long way to understand how HOT actually functions. So I remember in NHL 17, I was just buying new players all the time, selling stuff for way too cheap, doing sets that aren't worth it, stuff like that. From that time when I didn't understand anything about HOT, moving to NHL 23, I played completely free to play, and this was what my team was looking like around April. So my team was pretty much as good as it can get at that point in the year. Some of the cards are missing from the lineup because I've made, for example, team builder sets and stuff. So I feel like I'm qualified to talk about this. Let me know if I'm just completely wrong about everything, but I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of how HOT as a game mode actually works. Let's start here. There are 3 ways to actually gain assets in HOT. Number 1 is money. Obviously, you can just buy packs straight from the store. Number 2 is time. Obviously, the more time you spend playing the game, you will get more stuff. And then number 3 is skill. So if you do good in HOT Champs, let's say, you will get better rewards for that as well. So I'm free to play and have the best team in the game. That must mean I'm playing 24/7 and I'm really good, right? Actually, not at all. First of all, at the start of NHL 23, I actually sucked. Well, not exactly sucked, but I was nowhere near what you could ever call like a top player. I was struggling to get 11 wins in champs. That tells you all about that. So I wasn't very good at all. So yeah, I was above average, but you know, the real skill rewards are at like top 50, top 20 in HOT Champs. I was nowhere near those. So if skill isn't the difference maker here, what about time? I actually checked this recently. I have 1200 hours played in NHL 23. Let's say around a third, which I think is probably actually more than a third of that time is spent elsewhere, not actively playing HOT. So that's 800 hours of HOT time, which over a year that would only be a few hours a day actually. And yes, I know, most people don't even have time for that. But let me tell you, there are people who spend money on the game, play it way more than I do, and some of them are probably even better at the game than I am, who still have worse teams than I do. So, how do we achieve this? Let's dive right into the 7 HOT secrets I'm going to share with you today. Number 1, if you are ever going to spend money on the game, you have to know when to do that. And the best times to do that are actually right at the start of the year, either when the game launches or when the first event comes out. These are the times when you're gonna have the best possibility to get any sort of coins for your pulls. Even if you pull like an 83 overall at the start of the year, that card might go for like 20-30k. Again, I don't think it is necessary at all to use money on the game, but if you are going to do it right at the start. And also, if you are going to spend money, I would advise you to pick up the most expensive version of the game, just because you get pretty good like value in terms of the 4600 HOT points and the other stuff you get for pre-ordering the X Factor edition. But the point being, you have to know when to open those packs. It's most advantageous to do it right away or at the first event. So this point also goes for any like loyalty packs or whatever they give you at the start of the year. Pretty much just you have to try and know when to open packs, and building on that, actually the second point is about knowing when to buy and when to sell. The easy rule when it comes to this is sell your cards when there is no rewards being given out and buy cards when there are a lot of rewards out for people. So in the past few years, this would mean later on in the week, starting from like Thursday to Saturday, that would be the time when the market is at its lowest. So that's the time to buy any cards. And then like Monday, Tuesday, around then is the time to sell your cards because there is no rewards being given out. The most common mistake when it comes to this is that people rush too quickly to sell their cards. For example, let's say you pulled a 90 overall card from your rivals rewards, and 90 overalls typically would go for, let's say, 80k on the market, and that card is going for 60k. You shouldn't be selling that right away because there is a lot of chance that card is gonna bounce up in price once the card is out of packs. With that, you do have to be careful because point number 3 is that all the prices are going to go down. Your cards are constantly losing value when you hold on to them, especially in the first few months. So let's say from month 1 to month 3, all the high-end base cards will drastically lower in price. So the first month of the game being out, I definitely wouldn't go out buying cards that are clearly going to go down in price like that. I know everyone wants to play with those best cards in the game right away, but just thinking about the future, while you can still get coins from those base cards, you should turn them into coins. The prices just are going to go down so heavily. This would actually be one of those rules that I'm probably going to break myself because I'm going to be playing a lot of the game, so it's not that crucial for me to have that extra bit of coins there. I can make it other ways. But in the past few NHLs, this is what I've been doing. I've always sold all of my base cards I pull from the start and never buy anything that I know is going to go down in price. Moving on to number 4. Do not buy players for your third or fourth lines. Always try to plan for the future. Ask yourself, when you're getting a new player for your team, is that player going to be there for at least 2 months? If the answer is no, then it's probably not a good idea. The issue is that I see many people just always wanting to go for the newest cards, always want to add players to the lineup, but what happens is you end up with like 30 mid-rated cards in your collection. Compare that to my philosophy, where I basically only get players that are going to be there for multiple months. I'm just saving so many resources because I don't have to be constantly buying new stuff, making collectibles for players, stuff like that. So when you are getting players, just make sure those are like the top players in the game that you really want. You don't want to be stuck with 30 average players. Moving on to number 5. Everything that is free, you should try to take. So I'm talking if there's a power-up collectible in challenges or a free jersey pack in the store, whatever like that the game gives you for free, you should really try to get because those things really do add up. Last year, the single thing I saw so many people just miss out on was the seasonal collectibles. You could often get 3 of them a day for very little effort, just by opening the free pack, playing the daily objectives, and then sometimes there would be a hot challenge as well that you could get a seasonal collectible from. The thing that people miss is that those seasonal collectibles are about 1 to 2k worth in coins. And think about it, if you're missing out on like 3k every day, what's that, like 1 million coins over the year? It just really adds up if you think about it. I myself pulled Mario Lemieux just from the seasonal rewards as I traded in those collectibles for the icon pack. Obviously, there is a lot of luck involved in that as well, but I wouldn't have had that if I didn't collect any of those seasonal collectibles. Point number 6. Make those sets. Especially at the very start of HOT, you can really benefit from just spamming all the sets you can. Jersey sets, silver rerolls, honestly even gold rerolls at the start of the year are pretty good when you still have a chance to pull something that goes into your lineup. Now, the gold reroll wasn't necessarily the best value set, but all the while making those sets you're also working on objectives and milestones. At this point my mic just stopped working for some reason, but anyway, let's move on to number 7. Do the team builders. I know they are very expensive, but there has not been a single year yet where they haven't been worth it in the end. Way too many people later on in the year regret not doing them, and people always think that they're too late to start on building the team builders. But trust me, it's never too late to start building team builders. And if possible, you should just start doing them right away, so you don't have to think about being too late for the party on those. So, there we have it. Those are my 7 tips for Hockey Ultimate Team and how to get a better team. I will actually be making a video when NHL 24 does come out, just showing how I will start the HOT journey. If you want to see me play the game, I will be streaming a lot on Twitch when NHL 24 comes out. So, as always, there's a link in the description below the video, so you can go there. Twitch is also a great place if you want to ask me questions about anything I was talking about in this video, or anything in general, really. And also, if you think my YouTube channel doesn't completely suck, then you can also consider subscribing. But yeah, thank you for watching and see you on the next one.